Let's have a look at all the powers and items that are available for Soldier 76 in Overwatch 2 Stadium. In this series of videos, we're taking a look at all of the powers and unique items for the heroes that are currently available in Overwatch 2 Stadium. Earlier this week, I made a video on how quick and with which heroes they're going to expand that roster. I'll leave a link below. I also saw some of you commenting on my earlier videos that you would like me to explain all of the more general items and what the impact is on your favorite heroes. That is a video that I'm going to be working on next week. On top of some build videos that I'm working on, and of course, the general Overwatch news like the Gundam Wing collab, so make sure to subscribe. Today, however, we're taking a look at Soldier 76. Right, before we get started, there's one thing I want to clear out that I see a lot of people still struggling with. But as you know, in Stadium you're playing in a third-person perspective, which is different from the normal game. However, you have the option to go back to first person, but not everybody knows how to do that. So this is how you do it on PC. I'm not sure how it works on console. I'm terribly sorry, but I think it is going to be very similar. So you basically go to options, controls, and right there you'll see the Stadium tab, and there's a camera perspective choice that you can make. So third person, first person, you can choose. Now for Soldier, I'm going to try a third person. We'll see how that kind of pans out. I have not played Soldier yet in Stadium, so I'm discovering it with all of you. But yeah, these are all of his powers, his weapon items, ability items, and survival items. We're going to start, per usual, with the weapon items. And the first one is called Pulse Converter. It gives you 5% attack speed, 5% cooldown reduction, which is good. And when you use Helix rockets, it restores 20% of your ammo. That's not bad. Let's have a look. So let's start out shooting this guy, maybe this guy. And then we are at 12 ammo. There we go. So just to be clear, this is 20% of your max ammo at that point that is going to get replenished. Can come in very handy. But that was the only item in the weapon category that is unique to him, that is a hero item. All the others are more general items. Okay. Moving over to ability, which gives us 4 hero items. And the first one is called Battery Pack. 10% ability power and 30% biotic field duration. So basically his healing is going to last a little longer, while his ability power is going to go up with 10%, which is also basically in this case going to be a more potent output for his biotic field. But let's have a look. We're just going to drop it right now.
I've got meds. Who needs them?
So let's say it lasts about 5 seconds without the item. Now we equip the battery pack.
Biotic healing ready for use.
And let's see. So it normally is about 5 seconds. With the item, it is 30% extra. So it's basically 6 and a tiny bit. But that might make a difference. I'm not super impressed right now, but it might work out. The next one is called Bomb Defusal Boots. 5% weapon power, which is going to bump up your output, and 90% reduced Helix rockets self-damage. When you damage yourself with Helix rockets, it knocks you back 200% further. In other words, at that point, Helix rockets become a mobility tool. To help you escape, to help you dodge something, maybe to get on a certain ledge. The next item is called Endgame Equalizer. 25 health and 50% ability power. That is starting to rack up because we're in the epic items. When you spend your ultimate charge, reset all cooldowns. While Tactical Visor is active, gain 20% cooldown reduction. So what that means is, if you have everything on cooldown,
Team, drink up here.
and you pop your ult, all those are going to reset. And on top of that, while you're actually using your ult, they're going to refresh a lot faster. Now, the way that is going to come in the most handy is, of course, if you manage to combo it up.
I've got you in my sights.
You can actually maybe squeeze out an extra Helix rocket. So within that little frame, I had 3 Helix rockets that usually are on a 6-second cooldown. So it's just a matter of kind of being smart about it. Starting out with a Helix rocket, reset everything, use another Helix rocket, and then take advantage of the 20% extra cooldown speed. And at the end, you can squeeze out that 3rd Helix rocket. There's some other stuff coming that is going to allow you to even empower those Helix rockets by shooting a 2nd one. So at that point, yeah, your ult is going to hurt. The last item in this category is called Rapid Response Radius. Gives you 10% ability power, 30% biotic field radius. So last one was duration, now it's radius. And biotic field heals allies below 50%, 10% more. It becomes a very generous healing. We're standing on the 10 meter mark. without the item equipped. And as you can see, we just kind of cross into the 5-meter mark. So that means we've got about a good 5-meter radius. We equip the item and we try again. And as you can see, we are closer to 6 meters now. But I think the most important part here is that it is going to heal all of your teammates that are below 50 health a little harder. Those were all of the ability items. Moving over to survival, where we only have 2 of them. It seems Soldier has a lot less items than most other heroes. The first one is a rare called Compression Fatigue. 25 health, 5% attack speed, and 25% sprint move speed. Let's see how fast the old man is without the item. Not bad, I mean, for his age. Especially with this skin. Now let's equip this item. And here we go. You can feel the difference. At some point his sandals are going to fly off. I'm getting worried. And then the final item, an epic one, is called Iron Lung. 25 health, and while using sprint, gain over health equal to 5% of your max life every 1 second, up to 25% for 5 seconds. So instead of going out of breath, he's actually going to get extra life by running. For me, it's always the other way around. But let's have a look. Look at the health bar below. You can see the green kind of stack up till we hit that 25%. Then it's going to stop. And the moment we stop running, a few seconds later, this is over health is just going to disappear. And it's gone. Okay, those were all of the hero items. Let's have a look at his powers. That's where the fun starts usually. The first one is called Peripheral Pulse. During Tactical Visor, Pulse Rifle shoots at 1 additional enemy, dealing 50% of the damage. Let's see what that looks like. We're going to focus on the right bot, but the left bot is going to take about 50% of that damage.
I've got you in my sights.
As you can tell. There's a lot of stuff that you can stack on your ultimate that is going to make it very, very strong. If you can reach that ultimate very fast, Soldier is pretty strong in Stadium. The next item is called Supervisor. After using Helix rockets, activate Tactical Visor for 0.75 seconds. I've been the victim of this one. So as soon as you set off your Helix rockets, you just need to start shooting because you're going to be auto-aiming. Now if you combine that with the previous one, and you can do that every 6 seconds, that is going to get annoying really quickly. Chain Gun. While continuously shooting Pulse Rifle, each shot grants 0.5 weapon power, stacking up to 100 times. So the longer you shoot, the more potent your weapon is going to become. As you can see, it racks up. Now the thing that is limiting me currently is that I don't have any other items equipped or other powers, so the reload is basically where it ends. But in theory, with some combinations of powers and items, you could go up to 100. So that means that you can get 50 extra weapon power, and that is big. Next up is Man on the Run. During sprint, restore 10% of your ammo every 1 second and increase your max ammo by 10% until you reload, stacking up to 10 times. So we're at 8 bullets right now. Start running. And you can see the current ammo and the max ammo going up. See, this is where you get things going. So we're at 60 right now. If we combine that with Chain Gun, as long as we keep shooting, we don't even need to hit the target. We made it to 50. So every time you reload, it basically resets, but some good intermediate sprinting. You can tell that you kind of rip through your targets a lot faster in the end. So we already made it to 50. That's a good start. Let's reset the build. Cratered. Increase Helix rockets explosion radius by 40% and explosion damage by 25. Alright, let's give this a try. I don't know what's going on right here, but I don't have any items or any powers equipped, as you can tell. But the Supervisor seems to be active, even if I don't have it equipped. Watch. And this is definitely longer than for 0.75 seconds. It's actually for the full duration of my visor. Yeah, that might be a bug. Anyways, let me reset this.
Every soldier needs a cause.
Okay, I think I fixed it. So this is without the item. We're going to have a look at how close he actually hit. I'm going to shoot this yellow line on the 5 meter mark. We don't hit him. On top of that, if I hit one of them, they take about, let's say, a good 5 blocks, something like that. They have about 30% of their health left. So now we're going to equip the item. First off, if I shoot at that yellow line again, they do take damage, so that confirms the radius. And then when we do a direct hit, you can tell that there's a little more damage. On top of that, the damage on the secondary bot is also more substantial since the radius is bigger. I think at this point we have about 20% left of our health. So that will definitely help boost your Helix rocket. No doubt about it. So will the next one, double Helix. Helix rocket fires a second homing Helix rocket that deals 70% reduced damage. So you can see the auto target thingy on there already. So if you shoot your Helix rocket, it basically shoots a second one, which end up being the same amount of damage that we had with the previous power. So if we combine both of those, yeah, that's how you get killed so fast by Soldier and his Helix rockets. Alright, next up, Hunkered Down. While Helix rocket deals damage, create a biotic field with 70% reduced duration at your position. So basically, it combines two abilities. It will heal you for a small amount every time you shoot your Helix rockets, but you have those every 6 seconds. And you still have your other heal, so I don't see any reason why you should die. Back off. Enemies within your biotic field take damage equal to 100% of its healing output. Yeah, let's give that a try. If they don't budge, they die. Biotic Bullseye. While in biotic field, critical hits restore 5% max ammo and extend the duration of biotic field by 0.5 seconds up to 5 seconds. So not only are critical hits going to get you your ammo back, but they're also going to extend your heal. So let's give this a try. We're at 1 ammo, dropping our biotic field. So as long as we are standing in our biotic field, our ammo is actually not going to deplete, and you're going to extend your biotic field up with 5 seconds. Now remember what I said earlier when you want to get to 100, or where you want to get chain gun. So let's get that 60 ammo first by sprinting around. Then we're going to drop our biotic field and we're going to start shooting. I made it to 85. If there was one extra bot, I would definitely have made it to 100. The fun thing actually is because the biotic field keeps adding my ammo, I didn't have to reel it up till now. So if I just drop this, my ammo keeps going up again. I mean, this is going to require some coordination, but oh boy. Some running around, some sprinting, dropping some fields and whatnot. You're going to drive your weapon power through the roof. Anyways, reset. Frontliners. Allies in range of your biotic field when it spawns gain overhealth equal to 30% of your max life for 3 seconds. As I've said before, overhealth really is a big thing in Stadium, and there we go. It basically makes biotic field more of a quick fix, so the supports can jump in and actually take over. That's basically it. Biotic field moves with you and grants you 20% increased max life while active.
Follow me for healing.
There we go. That put him up to 300 health instead of 250. During sprint, biotic field cooldown refreshes 150% faster. So we have our biotic field. It's about 15 seconds. If we don't sprint. Now we're going to do that again. And we're going to start sprinting. And you can see it skip a few beats. Now, let's see. On me and track and field, what does that do?
Follow me for healing.
Yeah, at this point, I think you can heal yourself almost the whole time. If you're a little better at coordinating than I am. There's some fun to be had right there. And that was all for Soldier 76. Tell me, what build are you going to use with the old man? Let me know in the comments. For now, however, that was it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It always helps me out. I also want to thank my patrons and YouTube members. You too can become a member over on patreon.com/theomnicpost and right here on YouTube to unlock exclusive rewards. If you have a few minutes left, maybe check out one of my other videos. But above all, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Bye bye.